Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joey here, coming at you with another start to finish process video on how I take scrap material and transform them into these fun little spinning cubes. There's definitely a story behind these guys in particular, and a story as well behind my absence. Y'all haven't seen me post much of anything in a long time, and I'd like to start with that and give the most respect to my mother. She just passed away this year, late August, from a brutal fight with colon cancer. Rest in peace, Mama. You were the best mom I could have ever asked for, and you live on in my memory, and I cherish that more than anything in my life. Um, so to make her proud, to show her that I could move on and live in this new reality just fine. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's still fresh. But Mama didn't raise no bitch. So here I am putting out my art how I love how to do it. And, the story behind these cubes in particular is that I made this project, filmed all this back in April. For those of you that have seen me recently, you've known that all that hair is gone now. But yeah, so it's been a while since April. I've had a wild summer. I got the news about my mom's illness in March. So all those months, man, of just uncertainty and being terrified. I still had jobs to do throughout the summertime and, stuff to attend. But once she passed away, my world was flipped upside down. I didn't know what to do, where to look, where to turn. And it's been very difficult, but now I'm feeling ready as I've accepted facing this new reality that I live in and that my family and I live in. I love my family so much. I actually moved back to New Mexico from California in 2021 just to be closer to my family. Like I had a spirit calling. Something in my bones was telling me to come back here. Before I even knew the news about my mom, I just had to be back. And I'm glad I did. I had 3 years with her before losing her. And now I'm still here and I get to be with my family and support them as we all go through this change together. So here we are, feeling better, feeling motivated, feeling confident, and finally finishing this video showcasing how I take scrap materials and manipulate matter into something fun, into something that can be enjoyed forever, talked about forever, rather than just collecting dust in a garage. So to get into the story behind these cubes and how they were made, this is hickory hardwood. Well, not that little guy. That small boy is purple heart and oak from other projects. But these in particular, this is hickory hardwood. And it's flooring that I used on a job installing about 1,000 square feet of it for this married couple. They seemed nice at first, man, but towards the end of the project, these people turned into the definition of Karens. Like, I went up to the dude towards the end of our job, and I was like, hey, man, from the politeness of my heart, do you mind if I take some of this material and make some projects out of it? And he said, from a very not kind place, I prefer if you didn't. So I was like, alright, well, fuck you, dude, I wasn't asking. So I took the shit anyways. Now here it is. You have seen the planing of it. Here we are planing some more. Cutting the beveled miters on the sides, cutting the cross grain miters, basically making a lot of the same size pieces in order to form the cube. I don't even have a name for these. I've just been calling them cool spinny cubes, spinny boys, six-sided flat earths. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, here we are. We are just going along. My little nephew Luca here is helping me put in the splines, a little bit of wood glue, This is perfect for him. He had so much fun. No power tools for you yet, dude. So here's the small ones, sanded down. And then there's this monster that I had created that was much more difficult to work with. Just double the size, and my tools were not double the size. So there was that. But we figured it out. So many of these little pegs. These just add a little detail. And this is the hardest part. Like, the stars have to align in order to get this right. Drilling a hole through its axis, way harder than it seems. There's been so many of these where I've made the coolest looking cube. It had the most amazing patterns. It was beautiful. And I botched drilling that hole, and it spins all oblong and shitty and super upsetting. But with all these, I nailed it. And especially with this large one that I've been experimenting with. Absolutely perfect. It was a little easier to drill the hole and lube up the pole to put it into the hole to make it spin, because poles and poles make the world go around, right? But I was so happy with the way this big guy came out. So stoked. It's like the size of a cantaloupe. Little guys are like the size of a baseball. But yeah, at this point, I am fired up. Like, I love woodworking so much because it is the manipulation of matter. Taking one form of matter and turning it into something else. Like, lumber is truly amazing. I love the fact that we are working with tree bones, literally the bones of a tree. So you've seen me construct the cubes, add the details, all that cool stuff. And with the small ones, I just put them on a little base, right? A platform for the pole to stick into and for the cube to spin on. But for the bigger cube, it was a little more challenging. I had to make a custom base for it, and this was super fun. I had planed down some maple, poured an ungodly amount of glue on it, rubbed it all over. That was super satisfying. But I'm basically trying to get the proper width and thickness for the base. So here we got a whole bunch of boards glued up, really nasty glue up here. I only have so many clamps. I don't have freaking $1 million worth of clamps like some people do, but hey, the arsenal just continues to build as you go. But so here we are. I'm making like a
scraps made a weed plant.
Woven pattern. The scrap material made a pretty peculiar shape. But this was all experiment. Like, I've never made one of these before, but you know, math is quite literally the language of the universe. So you apply some numbers to solid matter, and you know, you're literally controlling it. So that is so much fun. I was blown away at this point by the way it was turning out. Holes and poles make the world go around. So sick. Seriously enjoyed this so much. I'm so happy to be like putting this out finally. So bear with me if you're still following along. I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm a little rough around the edges when it comes to my voiceover and trying to keep the story aligned as far as the beginning, middle, and end. And this is an 11-minute long video. I don't know if I've missed anything or whatever, but I'm not starting over from this point. Let's see. So I had this idea to do like a bundle, right? Where like I take my framed paintings, original pieces, and a cube, and I was gonna do a fun little bundle for my art patrons. Now, I like to sell my art because it does no good sticking around me. I'd rather get it out there. I'd rather it be out there for everyone to enjoy if they like it. So I was doing a bundle, painting in a cube, and I just ended up like, as time went on, just sold them separately. You know, some people wanted a cube, some people wanted a painting, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. That's really no sweat off my back. But I think they look so cool next to some paintings, right? Like, each one kind of has like a different style and a different language to it as it corresponds to the painting. And I really look forward to doing more of that in the future. A lot more of the big ones. The big ones are just so rad. Shouts out to my wonderful friend who bought that. You were amazing. That the big cube now has a home. I'm happy for that. But yeah, so here we are. I'm over here at the Rio Grande in New Mexico. There's the little guy. But yeah, I just decided to go near the river and just make some fun little videos. It's kind of scenic. Depending on what scenery you like to look at, like the desert of New Mexico isn't the easiest to get along with, but throughout the years I've learned to love it. Like, look at this log just chilling in the Rio Grande. It was a perfect stand for this big cube. And I personally think that log looks like a long dog, or like a long dinosaur. And he's like, got this cube on his nose. He's like being patient, waiting for his treat. But yeah, anyways, there's that. I hope y'all have followed along, and I'll see y'all around, people. Much love. Stay safe.